Global Church family. Welcome back to the ongoing conversation about international missions at Fellowship Bible Church, where you get a front row seat to hear what God is continually doing to establish His church around the world. My name is Emma Kate, and I'm your host. And today we have some McManigles in the booth, but I think for every McManigle right now, this is your first time on the podcast, so welcome. Thank you guys for being here. So do you want to just introduce yourself? Just say your name and then what grade you are at school.
Okay, I'm Grace, and I'm in 5th grade.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Liam, and I'm in 5th grade.
All right. And then you don't have to say what grade you are at school.
And I'm not in school.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. And so the reason you're here is you guys just got to go to Thailand, which is so fun. So, and that had to be a really long plane ride. So how did you guys feel about like the travel to get there?
So the plane ride was really long.
Yeah.
I didn't get much sleep on it.
Mm.
I mostly played games on the plane.
Okay. Nice.
Other than that.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah. It does take a long, and it's hard when you don't get to sleep. But at the end of the day, you got to see your cousins, which that had to be so fun. What was that like seeing them?
The first thing that I did was I ran to Micaiah and I gave her a big hug.
Oh, that's so sweet. I bet she was so excited to see you. Did you guys have so much fun playing together and spending time? Yeah. And you got to miss school, which is also really nice. Yeah.
I got to miss 2 weeks. And
Wow.
I only had 1 week left when I came back.
Oh, man, that's so nice then. Yeah. So, wow, that's really fun. So what was the weather like there? Was it like hot or was it cold?
It was pretty hot most of the days. And then at night, it got pretty cold.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it was pretty humid most of the time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, that's not fun. But at least you were with your cousins. And then Thailand's not like the US. I've never been. So, like, it's totally different climate, right? So, like, they have different animals there. Did you guys get to see and experience that?
We got to ride elephants.
Oh, my gosh. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was really fun.
What did it feel like riding a horse, or was it different?
It was really, you were really high up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had to wear these big clothes.
Okay.
And
they were like pants, so we were pretty hot. And it was over our normal clothes.
Oh,
and they
okay.
had pants on.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
And all we had to hold on, so we rode the elephants bareback. And all we had to hang on to was a rope.
Just a rope.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They were really hairy. And the one that me and Malachi rode was just cleaned.
Okay.
So it was nice and wet.
Oh, okay.
And so, but it was still really muddy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind of like when we were riding them, it was kind of downhill, so it kind of felt like you were like falling off.
Oh, man. Wow. That had to be so scary. But wow, way to go, guys, being so brave. But I hear that's not the only brave animal encounter you guys had while there.
Yeah, so we went to the snake show.
Okay.
And this guy, he put a scorpion on my neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed. I would never let a scorpion be on my body, less alone my neck. But wow, that's so cool. Did you let it on you too?
Yes, I got it right here, but he got it like on right here on.
Wow. Did your dad put it on his neck?
No. He was too much of a baby.
Too much of a baby for that.
We also got to hold some snakes. We got to hold a baby snake.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to hold a Burmese python.
Oh my gosh. But like a little one?
No.
A big one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Man, you guys did so many exciting, brave things.
And when we were in the village, there was this toucan that was always near the bathroom. And one night, it came into the bathroom while Grace was taking a shower.
And I screamed for my aunt because I was scared.
I would have done the same thing. Yeah. So like this bird just flew in while you were
It
taking
was
a
a lizard.
A lizard.
It was probably
It's like pretty
it was
long.
like maybe like 5 inches.
It's a big gecko.
Oh, a big
And
gecko.
they call it a toucan
Because
because of the sound it makes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like them either.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Wow. So many brave things. But you guys got to go to the village where your dads grew up. So I'm sure they've told you so many stories of growing up in the village.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they told the truth? Did you feel like they exaggerated? Did you feel like this would have been a really fun place to grow up in?
Yeah, I think it would be fun. It also, like, when we went there, a lot of the people, they knew our dad, so they knew us.
Okay.
Well, they didn't know us, but, like, they knew where we were coming from, and it kind of felt like they were like family to us.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. And so you guys are up there in the village. Did you get to go to church there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is church like there?
Well, it was very different. The
Yeah.
church was a lot smaller,
Okay.
and we had to sit on the floor on
Okay.
mats,
Okay.
and we didn't understand the language,
Right.
so we just sat there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I feel like it was more like most of the girls were in the front of the room, and most of the boys were in the back of the room.
Okay. Gotcha. So they sat in different spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But it was like a lot of the families were with other families. So like it was like they were all a family together, and
Oh.
they all weren't like separated from each other.
Gotcha. So the families come and they are together when they go to church.
And
Gotcha.
like the little kids, like Benjamin, he was running around everywhere.
Yeah, like the little toddlers would like run around.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So the church is going on and the little kids are kind of just playing around. Well, that's kind of fun, like very family, a lot of people together.
Yeah, they had, they don't have like microphone. Well, they do have microphones, but like it's just one. It's like a big, like what do you call it? Where Papa was preaching.
The podium.
Yeah, they had just like a big podium where
Okay.
Papa was teaching them.
Okay. What was that like watching him teach in a different language?
It was kind of confusing,
Yeah.
but sometimes Mimi would translate for us.
Oh, okay. Well, that was really nice of her. Yeah. But isn't it so cool how you guys are in Thailand and you're at this church that God has been working and growing, and they're speaking a totally different language, but God knows exactly what they're saying, because when people in the village pray, they obviously don't pray in English, but yet God just is so big that he can understand all of the languages.
And like they prayed like about 10 times in a
Wow.
row.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, all right, this is the last prayer. We're going to pray about this. No, wait, no,
Okay.
wait, we're going to pray out this thing too, and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
It was
so
like
cool.
they prayed for us,
Mm.
and then they prayed for like the other kids and like travels and stuff. So
Okay. That's really, really special. And what about the food did you guys eat when you were there?
I would say most of the meals they like basically had the same things. One of the main things were eggs and rice and
Okay.
bamboo.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys eat a lot of Thai cooking here?
I do.
You do?
My mom makes.
Your mom likes a lot of Thai food, yeah.
My dad makes some.
Yeah, yeah. So you knew what you were stepping into. Did you try any Thai foods over there that you hadn't had before?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got to try locusts.
Oh,
They
okay.
cooked a locust for us that we caught, and then we ate them.
Wow. Were they good?
They were.
I caught
Yeah.
5 in a
Nice.
Pringles can. And
Nice.
then I let them cook them and eat them.
Okay. Nice. That's very cool. And then you guys said something earlier that you were playing a game there.
It's called blind monkey tag.
Blind monkey tag.
So our dad, so Uncle Seth, Uncle Joel, and my dad, they made it up when they were kids, and we
Okay.
actually played it on the porch that they lived in.
Wow.
The same porch that they played on.
Wow, that's cool. So I know how regular tag works. How does blind monkey tag work?
So basically, the floor is, well, not really lava, but like
Okay.
if there's someone and they're blindfolded
Okay.
and they have to walk around on the porch, and there's like these benches that the other people have to stand on,
Mm-hmm.
and if they get tagged, they have to try to guess who it is.
Oh.
If they guess it right, then that person's it. But if they don't, then they have to go back to the wall and count again.
Oh, okay,
And
gotcha.
then if somebody's on the floor and the tagger says somebody's on the floor, then somebody has to say yes, and then they have to guess who it is.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so they had like rafters, and even Uncle Joel and Uncle Seth, and so we were hanging from the rafters.
Wow. Okay, so like actual monkeys then.
And
Yeah, okay.
There were 2 little poles on the entrance to the porch
Uh-huh.
that I would stand on, and then I could just hang in the rafters.
Okay.
And my cousin and whoever was they would always go under you.
Okay. Wow.
It was also cool to think like the houses that they live in, they're like made of wood, and they're
Okay.
not like they're not as nice as our houses.
Mm.
And it like made me think like we're really blessed
Mm.
in the place that we live.
Yeah, yeah. That's really cool, though, to go and see how God loves and cares for people in all different types of situations. Yeah.
And,
So,
like, the dogs there, they were just stray dogs walking around and
Oh,
really
wow.
skinny.
Yeah, you could see their ribs.
oh, that's really sad.
And they did nothing. All they did was like lie in the sun and sleep.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
They're like cats.
They're like cats. You're not a fan of cats. Hmm.
I think it was also really cool to see where like my dad grew up and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was the piece of concrete where our dads put their hands in and wrote their names, and I
Wow.
got to see that.
Wow, that's really cool. How old was he? Was his hand pretty big or was it small like yours?
I think he was 8, pretty sure, and his hand was the same size as mine. It was
Oh,
11.
wow. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you got to put your hand where his hand was?
Yeah,
That's very
my dad did it, and he was 5 when he did it.
cool. Okay. So is your hand bigger than his then? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. So last question. Would you go back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Second to last question. We talked about so many fun things, but what do you think was like the highlight, like the best part of the trip for you guys?
I think mine was riding the elephants.
Okay.
Because, like, you couldn't do that in America.
It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, the elephants. Getting to hold the scorpion and
Okay.
hanging out with my cousins.
Okay. Yeah.
Another cool thing that we did was we went to a monkey show,
Oh,
and we got to sit with a monkey.
so you were sitting next to monkeys?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then they did a pose where he was kissing us on the cheek.
Oh, that's nice. Wow. Did they take did they want to take you like your jewelry or stuff, or they were just happy to sit next to you?
No, they just,
Wow.
Yeah, this guy, he tied Grace up in a rope and put her on a chair, and then the monkey came and untied her.
Wow. That's
he
crazy.
was also like shooting hoops and stuff.
Okay.
One of the monkeys was dunking.
It's
then-
dunking. Wow.
Yeah, he would jump up and smack the ball in the hoop.
Wow.
And then there's another monkey. We would say random numbers from, I think it was like 1 to 9,
Mm-hmm.
and the monkey would go and find it,
Okay.
and then they flipped him over and switched him around, and the monkey still found it while they were flipped upside down.
Wow, that's so impressive. That's incredible. Wow. Well, it sounds like you guys had such a great time. So thank you for coming and sharing a little bit. And I'm excited to see when God takes you back there. So thank you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and talking. We just got to hear about the grandkids' perspective from the trip. So Scott, what's it been like for you and Annette to like go back and now not only you get to go with Seth this time, see Joel and Rachel, but also take, some of your grandchildren with you?
It's, words can't describe how, just fulfilling it is, just because our relationships with the people has been so close. I mean,
Yeah.
We moved in, we were in our 20s, Seth was 8 months old, Daniel was 4 going on 5. And, they taught us the language, they taught us their ways, we learned their language, started teaching the Bible and, led them to Christ and, and then there became a church. And so, I mean, just our relationship with them has just been, just so close, through the years. And not only, did we grow to love them, but we knew they loved us,
Mhm. Yeah.
So, to be able to go back with our, adult sons and now their kids, it just means the world. It means the world. It's meant the world to us. I think it really meant the world to them. They were just so excited Seth hadn't been there in 17 years. And so to see him again and now him come back with his oldest son and I don't think I've ever experienced anything else like it, just because of just the relationship that we've had.
Yeah. Does it feel almost a little bit like a homecoming in the sense since you guys lived there for so long?
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely. Everything is familiar.
Mhm.
And, you can't wait to see their faces and spend some time with them. And so, it's definitely that.
Yeah. And so, Seth, I want to come your way. So you, like he just said, you hadn't been back for 17 years. So what was that like? Because I guess you left, you were still young. And so then coming back now as an adult, with your son. What was that like, stepping back into that world?
Yeah, it brought back a lot of memories.
Okay.
A lot of memories that I don't know, I've forgotten or what.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really neat, and to see how things have changed, and but still a lot is still the same.
Yeah. Like playing blind monkey tag on the porch. Yeah.
The porch is starting to fall down, so it was like a little sketchy.
Yeah.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
Well, I have a video of them playing it.
Okay.
We can actually post it.
Oh, yeah.
So people could see it.
Yeah, that would be so fun to see. Yeah, it sounds like quite a treat. So, yeah. And then so you were there as a kid, you're watching your parents like talking to the people of the village, like starting this church. And so you're watching that as a child. So coming back now as an adult and seeing, the church and it's established, obviously. So what does it like? How did you process that?
Yeah. So like as a kid, I mean, you don't know anything different.
Right.
So that
Right.
was normal. And as a kid, like, our relationship with the other villager kids were, it was just like a regular friendship. We had our regular language. But when we got into church, like church language is a little different. So justification, sanctification.
Right.
I never learned those words. And I thought about it. There was a FBC youth team that came
2005.
2005. And at one point I tried translating what was being said in the sermon, and I couldn't translate the FBC team just because the words, I never used those words as a kid. So this time around, I'm sitting there listening to the sermon, and I'm starting to pick up on those words. And I'm, and obviously now I can take in, the different aspects of the sermon, and who's teaching and who the leaders are, and it's a completely different viewpoint.
Right.
But yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. And then what's it like for you guys coming back to this church that you started? Like, what's that like, walking through those doors and being a part of a Sunday morning?
Again, very rewarding, very fulfilling, because we've been gone 20 years.
Right.
And, just that it hasn't died out.
Yeah.
It's done the opposite. It's grown.
Right.
And they are reaching the next generation. I remember when we were there in 2019, when we took Isaiah when he was 10, and the church was having a giant Christmas celebration, and there was probably 700 or 800 people, all together. They invited Christians from other areas, other villages. And so I was up at one of the evenings, I was up just going around taking video and pictures and stuff. And there's off to the side, there was this group of 11 or 12-year-old kids. And so I just started talking to them. Well, they were surprised that I could speak Karen. And I was like, this is the village we had been in, all these years. And I was like, you don't know who I am? And they said, no. I said, well, how old are you? And they said, 12. Oh, yeah. You weren't even born when we left.
Yeah.
And that just struck me, it's like, it's been all these years, but to go back and, they're now building their 4th church building.
Wow.
In the process, it just keeps growing, and more people. And, when we were there, the current building wasn't totally full, but they said not everybody was there. They were saying when everybody's there, there's not enough room.
Wow.
And so now they're across the village up on the ridge. They're building a real big building.
Okay.
That will house everybody. And, now they say there's Christians in all the villages. And so it's just something I just, just praise God for. I wasn't looking to be a missionary.
Yeah.
I would say I was a lot like Abraham, living among idol worshipers, worshiping idols, minding my own business, and for whatever reason, God wanted us to be missionaries and go and reach the Karen and, you know, to see what he has done there that we got to be a part of. It's, again, just beyond words.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you said they're building their fourth building. You said there's Christians in the surrounding villages now. And so, like, has God just been using this church as, like, are they evangelistic? Are they going out and sharing the gospel with the surrounding villages?
They have been. That's where the initial spread came from. When we left, New Tribes Mission had started an organization of churches, which we had led our church to be a part of. But after we left, it was just very impractical for them to be a part of that organization of churches, because it's made up of churches from other people groups, other languages. The Karen are historically more isolated than all the rest of the tribal groups, and so their proficiency in Thai was a lot worse than everyone else, and so it was really difficult for them to remain involved. And so then they eventually joined what's called the Karen Baptist Convention, and that's made up of Pwo Karen churches as well as Ska Karen churches, which is another type of Karen, different language. And so they, now through becoming associated with them, they're a larger organization. They send out evangelists and all like that. And so, yeah, a lot of it has also been done through that organization.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. And then going back to, you said those, you know, you saw those 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids. And so their normal now is growing up with a church in the village. And that is, like, just a normal part of their life. And so are the Karen people, those who aren't believers, are they more open to the gospel? Because I know when Joel and Rachel talk, like, the Thai people, it's very honor culture. Like, they're more closed off. But would you say the Karen has a different perspective towards the gospel?
I do. Because of the church there, because of the Maypay Church. When we first moved in, they had an understanding of Christians. In their mind, what a Christian does is they leave the spirit worship. They meet on Sundays, because Christians meet on Sundays, and they sing hymns and they pray. And there was a group of 5 households that were doing that when we moved in, and that's what they thought. Well, and so in their minds, it's, you know, what makes the difference is like what you're doing. You know, if you're worshiping the spirits, then you're doing animal sacrifices, you're tying wrists, you're doing all the things that they do in their ceremonies. And that was their view of Christianity at first. But as, you know, people genuinely got saved, and then people began to become discipled and mature and grow in the faith, and just there has been opposition at times. The unbelievers trying to get the believers to move to their own area, and that's just mainly because they're afraid of they no longer worship the spirits, so they're afraid of them now breaking taboos and making the spirits unhappy, and then the spirits making things happen, you know, bad things happen in their lives. Right. And the believers, their response through the years has always been, we're willing to do that if you all help us tear our houses down, move our houses, reconstruct them, and we find a place, you know, that is level and has water, and so that's been their response, and so it's never happened. But just through the years, because of the relationship that they've built, they never drew a line in the sand, and you can't make us do that. And, you know, that was never their response. But whenever they have any kind of a celebration, they invite the unbelievers to come to it as well as the believers, and, you know, partake of the festivities, and they always, you know, kill a couple pigs and things like that. There's a lot of food to eat. So they've just done a great job of building the relationship. And then just because of the longevity, and they're not, you know, they're not leaving the spirits and coming and trying Christianity and then going back to the spirits, and like they've become genuine Christians. Faith has really taken root. And I think just through all these years, that has become obvious that this is different. This is real.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think that's been what has drawn people into it, to want to be Christians.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how big is like the village that you guys are at? And what percentage would you say like either attend the church or are believers versus unbelievers in the village?
Yeah. So they were estimating, I was asking them that while we were there. They were estimating over 400 houses.
Okay.
And there's 200 to 300 people, I think, in the church. So they were saying under 10%.
Okay.
In that village. Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. And so do a lot of the people who grow up in the village, are they staying in the village and raising their families there, or are they heading out to like the city? So like in terms of like discipling and like raising up the next generation of leaders, like what does that look like for the church there?
Yeah, they're doing both. There's ones that get married and they're staying there. There's some that are going out and finding work, but it seems like they always come back.
Okay.
You know, they're just very tied to family and relationships. And it seems like they go and find work for a while, but usually when they get married and they're ready to start a family, it seems like they're coming back.
Okay.
They just, because of the cash crops that they're able to grow, corn, cabbage, things like that, they're able to live there and really make a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Which they weren't able to do before. And so, yeah, it's really growing and expanding.
Yeah. Okay. And so, Annette, what's it like for you? Like, you raised very little children in the village. So what's it like coming back now as an adult with your, grown children and your grandchildren? So what's it like stepping back into that?
I mean, it's so rewarding. It's wonderful. So I have a couple of very close friends in the village. One of them is older than us. And interestingly, when we moved into the village, life was hard. Like we had 3 small kids, soon to be 4 small kids, and doing laundry by hand and cooking every meal from scratch, and just living,
Heating shower water on an open fire,
all the things. Everything just took longer. So it was challenging, and we talked about how we could maybe get some help in the house. And there happened to be a woman who is a bit older than us. Her youngest was about Seth's age. And we found out her husband was in jail, and she had 4 children, her youngest being Seth's age, so a little older than Seth, I think. So she was maybe a year and a half or something. And in order to make money to be able to support her children, she would leave the baby in the village with the siblings and walk how many kilometers? 3 kilometers.
Down off the ridge down to, there's a mine down below that's, it's probably a couple miles down. Yeah.
So she would walk down there every day and work all day and come back. For a pittance, enough money to support her 4 children. And it's funny because I visited women in the village as I went around and trying to learn language. And I remember going to her house, and I remember looking around thinking, wow, she keeps these floors really clean, which is unusual.
Okay.
And anyway, so it turned out we ended up asking her to come and work at our house, which was a huge blessing to us, as well as a huge blessing to her. Now she's coming with her baby, on her back, coming up. The baby is, toddler, playing with our kids, whatever. And she is making more money, able to stay in the village, can all the things. Like God just provided that.
Yeah.
And so she is a really close friend. And she remembers several times when Seth was very little, and there was an emergency and we had to leave the village, and we left Seth with her. Sometimes now I'm thinking, what were we thinking? Why did we do this? Anyway, so she watched Seth while we took off on motorcycles to go deal with this emergency. And she, to this day, this time we were there, she told that story again. Yeah. Because here she is holding this very white baby. And her sister-in-law up the hill looked down at her house and she said, "What do you have? Is that a grub?" Because
what's that big fat grub you're holding?
And that's, I mean, it's a funny story, but it's also God's provision for us there. And so taking Seth back and, it's been 17 years since he was there, and being able to go back with his oldest son, it was just so cool. Just loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then Seth, like, as you're going back into the village, did you remember Karen, or did you have a hard time with that?
Yeah. So, a couple weeks before I went, I was like thinking about that and thinking like, how am I going to tell these people that, I have 4 kids now and my wife is pregnant with another one, and like trying to think of the words, and they just were not coming. So I talked to Joel who's over there, and he was like, "Hey, there's on the Bible app, the YouVersion Bible app, there's a Koran version, that you can listen to." He's like, "Pick a story, and you'll pick up a lot of things." So that's what I did for a couple of weeks, and I picked it up. A lot of it came back. Okay. A lot more than I thought would come back. Okay. Like listening to the stories, and I'm like following along. I'm like, "Oh, that's that story, and this is what's going on." And so we go, and so I always knew Koran a lot more than I knew Thai. I could get by, but I barely knew any Thai, and I really didn't know any when we went this time. But once we got to the village, like a lot of it came back. Okay. I was able to communicate a lot. I still lost a lot. I can't, have like regular conversations with people, but I was happy with what I remembered.
Yeah. I was impressed.
Yeah. And so what was it like seeing your friends that you grew up with? Because here you don't run into them, like we do here, but you're going back.
Yeah. So that was neat. That was really neat. Yeah. Kids that we would play blind monkey tag. One of them is the church pastor now. And, there were a couple other, some of them I didn't see, but there were a few that were there, married, have kids, and, making a living. And it was really neat to see them.
Yeah. I'm sure to come back and like build those relationships and stuff. Yeah. And then we won't talk too much about it, but you guys also got to spend some time with Joel and Rachel, and we just released their podcast. So I'd recommend, but I bet that was really also sweet family time. Like, how much has Ezra grown since you guys have seen him?
That was awesome. Like he's thriving. He's still small for his age, but he's doing really well. Yeah. And he was so close to walking. So close. The last day before we left, he was walking between people, but only so much. So he's so close. Yeah. It was very fun.
Yeah. And so I asked the kids this, but like, what was the highlight, do you think, for your time there with all the many things that you guys did?
For me, I would say it was being with Joel's family and the kids, and then of course being with the Karen again. Yeah.
So not having a scorpion on your neck or anything like that. You did not do that.
I didn't even go into the snake journal. Yeah.
In the band.
He's at the band.
Yeah, no. So they do this thing. Maybe I shouldn't tell you because the team's going there next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm nervous, but it'll be fine.
They used to do this. They didn't do it in this one, but they used to do this thing where they'd come around and they'd say, touching a cobra is good luck, and so they would, a guy would come around holding this cobra, touch cobra for lucky, touch cobra for lucky, and come around, Well, they would pick out the person who seems the most fearful in the whole thing, and then all of a sudden wrap the thing around his neck, holding the head. And I was like, nope, I know I'm going to become that guy. Yeah. I'm not going to this.
That's so fair. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
But
Yeah.
thankfully they don't do that anymore. So.
Okay,
They
good.
didn't do it. It's
Good.
there.
Good. Well, I know if we go there, I'm just going to look really brave and really chill. So, yeah.
Just
Right.
on the face.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me, the highlight was, of course, being with Joel and Rachel,
Mhm.
getting the cousins together.
Mhm. Yeah.
Having Seth go back, all of those things
Mhm.
were the highlight. I
Mhm.
also really enjoyed watching the kids ride the elephant.
Mm.
I don't know. We got good pictures of that.
Yeah.
It's just an awesome thing.
Yeah, for
Riding
sure.
it bareback.
Yeah.
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 And then we haven't mentioned this yet,
Mhm.
but my selfish desire was to do a cooking class while we were there.
Yeah.
And so Micaiah and Grace and Seth and Joel, actually, we took
Okay.
them along and we all did a cooking class, and that was fun.
Wow. So what did you make there?
So they had like this menu and you could choose whatever. And so
Okay.
we all chose different things.
Oh,
and so
smart.
it was a huge spread.
Yeah.
Couldn't even mention them all, but
Wow.
curries and stir fries and soups, and
Mm.
we made quite the meal.
Wow. That sounds really
very
good. Yeah.
Highlight for me, was seeing Joel and his family
Mhm.
and seeing the villagers and
Mhm.
it brought back, like I said in the beginning, it brought back a lot of memories that I had forgotten,
Mhm.
and it was really good to see all that and do all that. One of the big highlights for me was the food.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Every meal was just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I stuffed my face at every meal.
Yeah. Well, this is the food you grew up on. So, to be able to come back and eat it, that had to be so
I
good.
mean, we could develop like a whole food album. We took so many food.
Yeah.
pictures.
Wow.
I made a point to take a picture of every meal.
Every meal.
And the portions are, like normal sized portions. Some of them are smaller,
Mhm.
but like we would eat everybody.
Mhm.
And I think it would be like what, $15?
Wow.
And everybody would be full.
Wow.
Completely.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And then, like, how accessible is the village? So you mentioned, like, earlier, like, taking motorbikes and stuff back in the day. Like, is it more accessible now than when you guys were there, or is it harder?
Yeah, a lot more. The road is cemented all the way up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can drive a car up there now.
Oh, okay.
We drove this big 10-passenger van
Okay.
up there, which back in the day that was not.
Wouldn't have happened.
Okay.
No.
Those youth group team that came in 2005.
Mhm.
It was probably the muddiest year that I remember in history. The
Mhm.
year that they came, and the ruts in the road were like 3 feet deep.
Mhm.
I mean, it was crazy.
Mhm.
So to say we could take a regular city van
Mhm.
to the village, those people that went on that trip would not be able to believe that.
Yeah. I'm sure. Well, that's crazy. Well, I think I don't know, hearing you guys talk about this, it's what a testament to God's faithfulness that he brought you guys along to be a part of planting the church in the Karen, and then being able to go back, take your grown children, your grandchildren, to see what he is doing. Again, like we say in the intro and outro, like to continually establish his church and then to be able to watch it grow. And man, he just invites us to be a part of it. Like that's just
Yeah.
so very cool. So
It is.
yeah. Were you able to spend any time like doing study with them, or just was it more like relational catching up? Like,
Yeah. They're having some leadership issues in the church. I would say they're following more of the model that's kind of being passed on to them through the Baptist organization. And it's more of a congregational rule, so the people that are their current leaders were voted on by the whole church. Well, you have people in the church that are new and don't even understand the gospel yet.
Right.
And so I think some of the people that were chosen to be leaders were, people that, I don't know, were relatives or people like them or, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And not because they should be leaders.
Right.
So we were, that was the main thing we were talking. We had a couple of meetings with all the leaders together and just kind of laying out for them what the leader, what is God's design for the leadership of the church? What should they be able to do? if you understand what leaders are called to do, then you can see, I think, more clearly of what it's going to take to prepare for that. And so I think they're at the place where they realize that most of them need to step down and just kind of be left with 4 main leaders. And then Joel is going to be a part of their leadership team for a while, which I think will be a great help. He'll be able to guide them in leading as a team rather than just continuing to try and tell them how to do it. I think that'll be a lot more effective. So yeah, we had a bit of both, catching up and yeah.
And how far is the village then from Chiang Mai?
It's like a 3-hour drive.
Okay. So not too bad, especially now if the road is paved the whole way. So that helps.
Yeah, not like it used to be. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So does that then allow other like influences then to come into the village now that it's more accessible?
It does. Yeah. There's a lot of Thailand, Chiang Mai in particular, is a real hub for mission organizations because Thailand's surrounded by closed countries. And so just about, you name the organization and they're probably in Chiang Mai, basing out of Thailand, and some of them doing work in the Middle East and the neighboring countries and things like that. And so, and then you have those that they're continuing to try and establish themselves in Thailand, and there's organizations that come around and they'll offer these, tribal churches, groups of tribal believers, money to build a new building if they join their organization. So there's a lot of that that happens. It's happened in our area. Some of the villages that our guys actually evangelized later got drawn away to another organization because of what they were offering. And
the other influence that has come into the village, I don't know how well accepted, but there is a Buddhist temple being built up there now, which is kind of a first. It's not right in the village, it's outside the village, but for years that was rejected. So now that's kind of accepted. And like I said, I don't know how well, I don't know if people are buying into that or if it's pretty much an empty building. I'm not really sure about that, but that is another influence. With the roads, for sure. The good roads and the electricity. That would have been nice to have.
I'm sure.
Electricity.
It lines up more with their affluence, because the way that works is, every morning you have these priests that go around and they're collecting offerings from people, and that's how they live, and it's how people make merit, which is, the whole foundation of that belief system. Well, back when we were living there, the Karen were so poor, they were like, we can barely feed ourselves, let alone feed the priests. How's that going to work? So they always rejected it. Whereas now they're making a lot more money. And so, those that aren't Christians, I could see them, seeing it as more feasible.
Because now they have the means to do that. And if you have your earn your way. Interesting. So you mentioned, I think things to pray about, leadership and how that's going to work. What other, as you guys were there, what prayer needs did you see that the body here can be praying for?
Definitely Joel and Rachel. I'd refer back to the podcast that was the episode before this one. And just they're moving into a new work, a new program that's going to be expanded. And just, I'm excited about the potential for impact that team is going to have. Because it's such a large team, it's going to avail them to be involved in a lot more. The need that exists among the different tribal churches, historically, New Tribes has only worked with maybe 10 or 11 different tribal groups in Thailand. There's a whole lot more than that that claim to have Christians and churches that, when you meet them, they say that, well, I was born into a Christian family. And so I think even the existing tribal churches need to be evangelized, let alone discipled.
Yeah.
And if they can build relationships with pastors and church leaders, kind of like the way we do around the world, I could just see them having the same type of role and opportunity, that we have.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you continue to see the country of Thailand as being open when it is surrounded by so many close countries?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. People can still get missionary visas there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other prayer requests that you guys were thinking in terms of like the village and the people there?
Just continued growth, the church body and understanding and all of that. I think it's, always a prayer request.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on, talking about it. Thank you, Seth, for sharing and processing through what it was like going back after leaving so many years ago. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for watching and listening. Each month we highlight different global church partners. And so you can find all the information for that in the North Main stairwell. But thank you guys for watching and have a great day.